Hello guys, welcome to the weekly recap. I'm your host Austin Otieno, and this show has been sponsored by NewsunplugKE. Otherwise, stay tuned. So guys, welcome back to this our amazing show, and if you're new here, subscribe of course as we move forward. Of course, make me happy. So guys, a lot has been happening by the way, and despite all this, Valentine's bado ni next week. Sishangai mbona niko in red. Anyway guys, let's dive into this story where there was an earthquake in Turkey and the neighboring country Syria. And if you could have seen these stories, actually they were the videos that were trending all over the social medias. Big buildings were being brought down, big mansions. There was a lot of injuries, some have died, and so many things have happened to this place. So guys, so many things have happened. And then there was this woman who got actually trapped in that building that has collapsed. It's called a rubble. So this woman got trapped for like 4 days with a 10 days old child. And imagine they managed to survive. Okay, this thing has been described by actually on the social media to be a miraculous event. And after the search and rescue team were doing their job, they found them trapped under these ravages of the building. So they've been saved and they've been taken to the hospital for further treatment. So at the moment, the death numbers read up to around 23,000 in some values, and the people who have been injured, those buildings are tall and things, the earthquake, so you expect people to be injured. So the numbers are up to around 77,000. Like literally, you can see how much these people have lost, how much the effects have happened kwa hii country, and so many things. And then with all this disaster, various restaurants and help, UN, everything, people are joined together to support in everything that is happening at the moment. So they are giving out the food, the places they're giving out food, accommodation, and any other materials that these survivors might need. So that is a story. Actually, I hope you've seen it, and it has been trending wherever we are. We just thank God for some of us are actually in a very peaceful country, in peaceful places, no floods, no nothing, and you can't take this for granted, by the way. So just thank God wherever we are, and we are in prayers with the people in such countries. Otherwise, let me take you back to Kenya. Let me bring you back home, where there is a somber mood after the death of our former education secretary, the late George Magoha, is being laid to rest. Actually, it's today, this Saturday. It's on Saturday, but earlier on Friday, the body was flown all the way from Nairobi to his village in Siaya, where the body arrived at Yala Township Primary School, and the body was now being moved from points to points. So they made a stop at that school. A few masses were conducted here and there. Then they went to St. Mary's School Yala, where Magoha was actually a member of the board, the BOM, and so many things. So back there, students made a line and they sang song praises, poems, and everything. Actually, for the Luo tribe, they will always give the late to have a night out there. They spend a night spending the late at the night, so that mourners can have that time to be with him. And also, at least it's something, regardless of the gender, whether you are male or female, kama you are gone, and they bring that somber mood. People have that last moments with you. So guys, it's something people remember Magoha for various things. Every man, if you go back to Siaya, everybody knows, like so many around the villagers, let me say the villagers, wamejua Magoha sana for various things. They would describe Magoha as a kind person, someone who was strict, lakini ana make sure you have just done the best, And also the funeral, which was today, this Saturday, if you're watching this video today, there are various leaders who are actually in the attendance. Like we have our former president Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga was also in attendance, among other leaders, by the way, were also in attendance. So they've described Magoha various things, venye wamemit hapa na pale, wewe sijui umekutana na Magoha wapi ama ni nini amefanya maisha yako. Of course ameserve Kenyans, so kuna vitu zingine umepitia hapa na pale through his hands. How best do you remember Magoha? So drop those comments, keep them coming. I would like to know how much you know him. So guys, let's head to another news where this week police officers raided Matiang'i's current home. Yeah, this story by the way imekuwa ikishangaza watu sana. Nini Matiang'i imefanya? You know, people know Matiang'i as a very disciplined man, mtu mwenye ako straightforward. Why then would police officers go and raid his home at night yenye hata out of nowhere? And by the way, it was a breaking news and people were like, oh, what is happening? Why? Up to now, we've not established the exact clear details of what has happened, you know, but EACC has nothing to do with him. And assets recovery agencies are they are the ones who are trying to say they are related to this case. During that time, Raila Odinga came and said he's going to spend the whole night with Matiang'i to make sure that there is nothing, no one is trying to harm this guy, you know. And also a battery of lawyers came, and like over 200 lawyers. Like you can see how this guy is so powerful. Yani kitu kidogo tu hivi manze, masomo ni mazuri, so many work hard so that in case of anyone who is trying to harm you in any way, you have the people, you have everybody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So guys, on to other news. There is something yenye nasumbua Kenyans. The National Social Security Fund, NSSF, is being raised from 200 to 2160. Like, people are like, what is happening to this our country? So many taxes, high standards of living, nini, like maisha inazidi kuwa ngumu. So the Federation of Kenyan Employees have actually agreed, like you know, they can start implementing this. Earlier before walikuwa wanakataa, and by the way Atwoli has also agreed because he said the NSSF fund is not part of the taxes. So Kenyans, be ready for this. It's going to take course. It's not a lie. It's going to work for you. So employees in Tier 1 who are earning around they're saying an employee in Tier 1 earning 6,000 per month should be deducted 360 per month, and their employer to pay a similar amount, making it a total of 720. And also an employee in Tier 2 who is earning 18,000 and above per month becomes the upper limit of contributions, paying 1,080 shillings. Their employer should match up a similar amount to give a total of 2160. So Kenyans, like, I don't know what you think. Are you happy with this, or the president has got something good for us? Anyways, keep those comments coming. I don't know what you think about this, the increase of the NSF fund from 200 to 2160. Otherwise guys, let me give you this story before we take a short commercial break. Let me take you to Murang'a County, where an assistant chief has actually also been involved in defiling a minor. Like, I'm tired of reporting these cases hapa kila siku. Like, there was another one from Baringo West, Baringo East. Why would you defile these minors? So this case was where this assistant chief defiled a 14-year-old minor who was actually she was sent by her family to look after a mentally challenged aunt. Okay, this story is serious. I don't want to laugh. So when this girl came to the aunt's house, she was to actually, you know, take care of her, but then the neighboring assistant chief started luring her with money here and there. It was this incident, the defiling incident happened on the 1st of January. Actually, it was a happy new year, you know, watu walianza sherehe, watu walianza mwaka vizuri wengine, lakini then this man was out here luring this girl with money hapa na pale. So on the 1st of this year 2023, the girl took the aunt's phone and texted the chief. They were texting each other there so that they could meet in the kitchen, in the aunt's kitchen. Ebu just imagine your risk, like a whole chief is leaving the house coming to the aunt's kitchen, a mentally challenged aunt. You know, you cannot know, like, you know, like, I don't know, sijui kama mtu alikuwa anatake advantage because the aunt is mentally challenged or what. But then seriously guys, seriously, sometimes we should just stop. Anyway, let me give you the story. So this chief came on at night to the aunt's kitchen, and now this is where the incident happened. So they spread a sack of, maize, everything up on the floor, and this is where the defiling act happened. And I don't know, like, why will this just a 14-year-old child, okay, labda amejua mingi, like, you can never underestimate nowadays teenagers. You can never underestimate even a child, a 10-year-old child. They know a lot, by the way. Parents, take care. These kids, these millennials know a lot, so they can't be out of your control. But then jaribu sana asikue, isikulete mashida. After around 4 days is when this girl went to a police station and reported the incident. And by the I don't know what's happening to people by the after the act. Why you do now, like after 4 days, this is when you want to give out the report? While I will also stand a chance to blame people by the if I was a judge, I would blame people. Why you do take some days later on is when you report this incident? Why that? If you know this was a serious case, unafaa ujue that you are committing a crime, you are doing something illegal, so you should just have stopped from the beginning of it, So this girl reported the matter and told the in-laws up and pale, and they started taking action. So from imagine all the way from January hadi wa leo, up to this week, February, around yesterday, February, in the middle of February, from January up to in the middle of February, that's like past a month. So this week is when they received justice after police officers walikuwa wanajaribu to make this assistant chief walk free out of the case, unaona. But then the villagers wakakuja pamoja wakastrike, this cannot happen, this cannot just happen. So they fought for the right of the girls and everything, and now justice has been served. So with this, guys, I want you to stay tuned. We are taking a short commercial break, and after this I'm bringing you some more news. Otherwise, don't go away, don't go too far, stay tuned for more. So guys, welcome back from the break, and to dive into another story. You remember last week I gave you this recap about the justice that was served on the late Willie Kimani. So the wife came out this week in an interview held by Lulu Hassan on Citizen TV. The wife actually, up to now, like Ajahil, it's something really traumatizing, and she said she will never forgive her husband's killers. You see, it's something like alikuwa nasema venye when she was in that court, alikuwa naona the memories that were playing in her mind when these people were doing everything, like they were recounting the events venye zile happen, how her husband was murdered from step 1 to the last step, and you could see the killers just a few meters away from you, kitu kama hiyo. And it's something yenye inaleta some trauma. And following these, like Ajahil bado the only memories yenye ako nayo labda ni aende tu hapo penye the husband is actually resting in peace, and that is only the memory ndio ako nayo. Like guys, ni kitu ingine, hata mimi ingekuwa mimi manze, it's something so sad, like it's so hard. Yes, you've been served the justice. Alikuwa nasema okay, he felt the joy, but then kuna tu kitu inakuhit, like like life ni moja tu, like you cannot replace. There is no other spare parts of being alive, or the heart or the body. Once you've lost it, umepoteza, imeenda hivyo. So this woman still feels the pain despite the justice that was served upon that case. So it's something, I don't know how you might have felt about the same. Or do you feel the same? Maybe you can drop your comments as we continue. And on to other story. Let me take you back to politics again. This week, Jalang'o. Okay, you've seen Jalang'o by there trend hapa na pale. Wengine wanauliza kwani ameenda nini? Ameenda UDA ama ako wapi? Like Jalang'o, it's not only Jalang'o. There are 9 ODM members who went and met the president together with the deputy president in the State House in a closed door meeting. So following these, so many questions zimekuwa zikirise hapa na pale, all the way from the social media, wapi na wapi. Even the party leaders actually wame set a disciplinary for these 9 people. So among the 9 MPs who met the President Ruto and Deputy Gachagua ni kama Gideon Ochanda, who is an MP from Bondo, Elisha Odhiambo Game, Mark Nyamita Uriri, Karoli Omondi Suba South, Shakil Shabir Kisumu East Independent actually, Felix Odiwuor alias Jalang'o mwenyewe alikuwa ni Walang'ata, Paul Abor Rongo, John Owino Awendo, and Kisumu Senator Tom Ojienda. These are the people who went and met the president together with the deputy president. But then watu wakamuuliza, like, so there was another meeting held by the party leaders of ODM, blah blah blah. So there was another meeting held in Mombasa at Manzoni, and then Jalang'o was literally kicked out by a security guard. So hapo hivyo watu wa press tuko na yeye hapa na pale na tukamuuliza, why were you kicked out? This is what Jalang'o said: I feel bad, you know, I love Baba, I am a member of ODM, I can't regret meeting Ruto. I had gone there on my own capacity and he called me for development issues. That is what Jalang'o said. Na tena wakamuuliza, like, will you apologize kama kutakuwa na kitu ingine? Mjaluo ni nani? Kiburi mbele, everything mbele. Akasema, there is no apology about it. I went there for development. So guys, I don't know what you think. Did Jalang'o make a mistake, or hizi ni tu siasa za hapa na pale? What do you think guys? Drop those comments, keep them coming. Now let me take you to another good story. By the way, this woman actually surprised me. I'm talking about Akothee. Recently there was the release of KCP exams results, and students are still struggling kujoin form 1 hapa na pale. Kuna shida na fee, kuna issues mingi tu, wengine hawajapata letter, and these students are needy but very bright, unaona. So actually I saw one na pia nimesoma other stories. Like I know you might have come across these stories. There was one actually who was selling water, imagine, just to raise school fees for his form 1 admission. Like, a lot is happening, so many things in happening watoto, by the way. So, and they're very bright. The one Akothee actually now came out after, you know, this girl tried to kill herself, akaunda video for someone who can see, mwenye anaweza support. Like, inafika that point now, like, it's beyond your control. Like, you can't do anything. Relatives, friends, it's you and you against the world. So you can feel like you can contemplate suicide, something like that. So this girl akatoa video, akaweka pale social media, ika-trend. You know, they are poor, of course, so the house, you know, the video iko na elements of all that. So hii video ika-trend, by the way, video ika-trend kila mahali, Facebook, everywhere. And then ikafikia Akothee. When Akothee saw this, like, Akothee says this video really touched her heart. Akothee was saying, I watched the video and I was deeply touched. I'm a mother of 3 girls myself who just recently left teenagehood. Seeing this girl make that video and explain herself like that moved me, and immediately I knew I had to do something. So just imagine, like, I always tell people, don't underestimate the power of social media. You never know who is seeing you, you never know who is watching you. So ikafika to that breaking point for this student, akatoa hii video. And guess the good news, by the way, Akothee came through, akamfanyia shopping, admissions, na Akothee mwenyewe akamchukua, wakaenda moja kwa moja hadi shule, and they talked to the principal pia akachangia in her first admissions hapa na pale, all those shoppings, hizo little books, dictionary, all that. So guys, this was a very good act that actually Akothee wenye wanamtrollo ako aje finally manze ame come out and it's a big thumbs up to her. So following this, still related content, the government of Kenya and the cabinet secretary has released Talanta Hela Council, where Dennis Itumbi, mwenye ni social media strategist, we have comedian Churchill the Dambuki, Asia TikToker and radio co-host, and Akothee mwenyewe. They've landed a new job in the state. They've landed a state job actually from the Kenya Kwanza, this government of so they've gotten some job, like it's like a 3 years contract. They're trying to work out if they can support the youth hapa na pale. So despite challenges zenye tunapitia sisi as a country, yes, of course, at least we can see there are some parts they're trying to build and nurture to make sure things go well for us. So on to the last story that I want to take you is there's a boda guy and a school dropout. They're very young, by the way. One is 22 and the other one is 20. These people were impersonating the deputy president's wife. I'm talking about Rigathi Gachagwa's wife. They were impersonating, like on social media, unajifanya you are that person. So these guys, one is called Blaze Wafula Nabizwa, who is 22 years old, and the other one is Jacqueline Tokesi, who is 20 years old. They impersonated social media of the wife, Rigathi Gachagwa's wife, and created like 14 Facebook accounts. And in these Facebook accounts, what they were doing ni kukono watu. They were conning people money, like walikuwa na create things like opportunities, scholarships, loans, easy soft loans if you can apply and get. So out of all this, of course, pwagu pata pwaguzi wakapatikana, and it was so late that they have conned over 200 people. You can imagine, me sijui kama umefall your trap, and they have followers, they have these pseudo accounts. So following this, they have unlawfully obtained like 282,000. Unaona, like Wakenya, I always tell you every day, Kenyans are very creative, and now look at this one. Sijui kama umefall a victim of this money fraud and everything, but then here they won it again. So I don't know, do you blame them or hapo sasa ni akili iko namna gani? What's your comment about this story as we wind up this show? Drop them, keep them coming. We have come to the end of the show, and I wish you a nice week. Have a good, happy Valentine's in advance. When you are single, try to mingle hapa na pale. Don't just stay indoors and then you be like, when will I get a boyfriend? At least tembea nje kidogo. Otherwise, see you next time, guys. I've been yours, Austin Otieno. Bye.